Away from Texas.
Yes, sir. Watch you every single day. Nobody lays it down like Uncle Neely and the pregame show.
Neely, pregame show behind the scenes of everything. And why does he get that kind of access? Why does he get that kind of access? Because trust is involved. You would never get the kind of access you desire unless there's trust and relationship. You trying to put your up on game?
Shut up. You shut up. Is it good morning or afternoon?
Still morning.
All right, morning.
Coach, how has coaching lived up to your expectations coming into it?
For someone that never wanted to do this, I am really addicted to it right now. The babies are really giving me a purpose in life, and I'm enjoying it.
Seems like they've taken a liking to you as well, and just enjoy working with you on a daily basis. How much have you seen kind of their energy change from maybe when you were a guest last year, just kind of seeing how things have shifted in about a year?
The best thing, I wasn't really around here last year, except for the first game and then the USC game. So I won't even compare anything to last year. I just love their energy, their willingness to come and work and learn and take it from the classroom out to the practice field and the drills we're doing. I tell them, you show me how you love this by the way you work. I'm a fun guy, I think, but I do get to work. So they meet me more than halfway, so that's all I ask.
A lot of college offenses look different than when you played in college. Is playing D-line any different now than it was when you were in college?
No, 1-3-5 never changed. Quarterback 3-7-5 step drop. I mean, it's all the same. Except, back when I played, they'd run it 30 to 40 times and then throw it 20 to 30. Now we'll close it down and throw it 40 to 50 times and choose when we want to run. But it's still the same game. It's a beautiful game.
What do you see out of your personnel group?
A lot of depth. We're trying to develop some depth right now. We got 5 ends that'll rush. I tell them we got 5 ends on a 2-lane highway, so y'all better fight for those reps because they're going to go fast. They're going to go fast. And inside, we just building depth and, want the guys to be nice and solid because the one thing that I did see last year before I turned the TV off was we couldn't stop the run, and that won't happen with me. No. We're going to earn our right to rush by stopping the run.
I talked to Coach Dancy last Monday, and he said, there's no I guys, it's all about us. How are you implementing an unselfish group and really a unified front?
It's a very humbling game that we play. And if you think you can do this all by yourself, I tell them I got a gold jacket and I'll rip it up and tear it up like to have 10 other guys come fight with me because me out on that field is just one guy. And you're just one guy. So we need a unit and a pack to go hunt. And when you pack, a bunch of wild dogs show up in your neighborhood, nobody's coming outside. And that's what I'm telling them. We're just going to show up like a bunch of wild dogs to the stadium and we're going to hunt. The table is set, let's eat.
Coach, I imagine that saying you want to improve in the run game is easier said than done. How do you go about doing that?
On a day-in-day basis. Day out, day-in basis. We're going to pull concrete. We're going to make sure we fundamentally sound in our gaps and our hands and our feet and trust in our eyes. That's the most beautiful thing that with the D-line position. Offensive linemen don't lie. Biggest lie you get told is a flash trap. And I promise you, that's just one.
You guys are taking practice down to Denver on Friday. What do you think the benefits of that practice will be?
Well, we're going to turn the lights on. Some of our guys have never been inside the lights. And, you turn those lights off, and I know Boulder's going to be good and liquored up for Thursday night. We kick this thing off. So it's going to be nice and loud. And, a defense is going to have to be out there and loud, and we're going to need to communicate. And that's what we're going to simulate that Friday night.
Warren Sapp could do
Next question. Who in your room specifically, individually, has stood out the most to you?
I wouldn't single out one guy because we're a pack. My 5 ends on a 2-lane highway. That's nice and good. And then with the last 2 tackles with Buell and the young fella, we'll be 6 deep. Cause Shane and Big Boy, 90 Deuce, Barnes, and then we got Kadoji in there, and then working with Buell, and then one more. Who am I forgetting? TC. And the other kid, yeah. I mean, we just mixing and matching. You pick it.
Why coaching for you? Why coaching?
A lot of the guys Lewis and working with him. What have you learned from him about coaching?
One more time.
What have you learned from Coach Lewis just working with him? What have you learned from him about coaching?
From the beginning, he came behind me at Miami, so he's one of those guys that was the next baby Sapp. So, he's been trying to beat me his whole life. So now we're putting it together and see if we can turn them into something that's better than both of us. So we have a great push-pull relationship. See the game the same way and just love it. You got a guy that loves the game. We're going to do this thing.
A lot of the guys on both lines have talked about the physicality and the competitiveness in camp. Is that a tone that you guys are trying to set as a staff?
Oh, no. We believe in iron sharpens iron. And if you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best that we got and then continue. And then we're going to go at it every day, and then he's going to have a plan, and you're going to have a plan. Like Mike Tyson said, we all got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, and that's what that practice is for, to get us ready for this 12-game season, and we'll be ready.
All that knowledge that you gained as a player, did that come flooding back, kind of like riding a bike once you got back on the grass, or did that take some time?
No, coaching is a whole different thing. You know, when I'm leading the championship, this is the first time I'm going for a championship and I'm not leading. You know, and that's a beautiful thing that now I have to relinquish the wheel and let somebody else drive. It's a beautiful thing to, you know, watch my kids day in and day out get a little better. I'm watching Shane come alive because now he's trusting the process, you know. When you come and you go slap club rip and they've never done it, I've been in 90 days. I'm taking 120, we'll got it right. You know what I'm saying? So we just going at it each and every day, and the best part about it is I'm learning every day. They're teaching me too, you know, because the game ain't the same. It's a different game, and the way I played it, I can't play it like that anymore. So we just mixing and matching and doing it the right. It's 21st century football. So I'm learning, they're learning, and we're going to learn together.
What would you say the biggest thing so far you've learned about just how the game's changed?
They don't like to communicate. You know, I'm a loquacious guy. I love to run my mouth, but my defense goes quiet sometimes. I tell them, hey, a quiet defense is a dumb defense because nobody wants to say anything. Please, talk. Transfer it down, up and down the line. We all know what we're doing. We all wrong, we all right. That's how it goes at this defense. We all line up wrong, we all right. But as long as we're playing the defense that's called, we got a shot.
You obviously worked pretty hard getting your degree to have this opportunity to be a GA and join and get into coaching. Is it kind of, have you taken a step back to kind of see how rewarding it's been so far? I know it's early, just taking a chance to appreciate kind of all the work you put in to get here.
You know what? When me and Brown was first talking about it, and it never dawned on me until the babies got to me. When I was in the hot tub, you know, trying to get my hip right, and just to work with them a little bit, it flooded me. And they were reaching and grabbing and asking questions. And I've worked with pros that'll get my phone number and tell me they're coming to Miami and my house is 1.5 miles from where they work out, and they'll never call. These kids call me 5:30 in the morning. Hey, Coach, you gonna come watch tape with me? It's crazy. I'm like, yeah, give me a purpose to get off to the couch. I mean, trust me. I was on my couch watching MSNBC. I am loving this. I am loving this.
What would success look like for you as a coach?
What's what?
What would success look like for you as a coach?
The seeds that I put into them blossom into those beautiful mountains that come out in the summer, Colorado summer. You know how those purples and yellows and everything come out? That's what I want after this year. The seeds that me and D-Lou and Dancy put into them, I want to see them blossom into flowers because it's a beautiful thing when you see your kids doing what they're doing.
All right, thanks, Coach.
That's good, baby. All right. Well, watch it, baby. And the only thing I got to do is get my golf game good enough to come with him right now because, boy, he's smacking me around.
How you guys doing? Good. A lot of competition in your room this year, Coach Phillips. How have those guys, you know, kind of come along throughout camp so far, and what are you seeing from your personnel group?
I mean, those guys are doing great. I mean, they're coming along well. I think the biggest thing we wanted to form was chemistry. And I think we've been able to do that. I mean, a lot of guys were added since the spring, so we had a couple of additions come in since the spring, and the main thing with me was chemistry, and those guys are starting to do that. They understand, just like you guys had a conversation with Sapp, you know, it's a unit. No one man can do it by himself. So we all got to work together. We've got to make sure that we don't affect the integrity of the route by not doing our job individually and do it collectively. So they've been doing a good job of that.
One of the guys that didn't get here until fall, Will Shepard, was a very productive player in the SEC. What have you seen from him as he's adjusted to his first few weeks in Boulder?
I've seen everything that we anticipated seeing when we brought him in here. He has a level of physicality coming from the SEC that we desperately need in that room. And obviously his experience is the biggest thing. You know, a guy played a lot of football, so he has something to add to the room as far as knowledge and experience. So he's been doing that role. He's got very strong hands. So we're just excited about him being here and just put him in the mix with all the other guys that we have and just letting his talent speak for itself.
How do you balance, you know, having a set group of guys that are your starters, if you will, versus making sure that, you know, all these guys get opportunities out?
I don't balance that, they do. You know, if they play well and they're productive and their assignment perfect, then they determine who plays for me. So that's the one thing that we preach on a daily basis, and they understand that. So I mean, it's easy, and those guys need to learn to love each other, right? Because the chemistry, again, is the most important thing in the room. But as a coach, I'm gonna put the best players out there, and they know that, they believe that, and obviously they all work to be the best player.
How many guys do you think could be rotating in for you?
Anywhere from 6 to 8.
How much is Travis playing wide receiver during fall camp?
He's playing as much receiver as he's played last fall camp, last summer. So Travis is doing a lot. Travis is a very headsy guy, understands the game on both sides of the ball. So we're utilizing his talents like we've always had. So I mean, we split him and share it, and he goes on defense for a couple of reps, comes on offense for a few reps. So he's been able to do that consistently. So there's no issues there.
What has that experience been like, coaching Travis?
Pleasure. I mean, one of the most pleasurable guys, one of the greatest guys I've ever been around as a player. I mean, as a coach, just having a player like that that understands the game. Basically, he understands your position. He understands what you're trying to get out of him, and he wants more. He comes to work every day looking for more. You know, I think the biggest question the scouts has, how do you coach him? And my answer to those guys, coach him, because he's coaching. He's a joy to be around. He's a great kid on the field, off the field. He's great for the room. Everybody understands and realize his talent. So everybody wants to play to that level, which is, it's been great. It's been remarkable.
Coach, what have you seen from your young guys in Draylon and Camp?
Young guys, you know, the experience for those guys, I mean, obviously they're tremendous football players, came in here with a lot of hype. That hasn't been disappointing because they've embraced this opportunity like I've never seen any other freshman before at other places I've been. It's just a matter of them getting comfortable within their own skins and learning the schemes and the things that we're doing. So, you know, their future will be bright. Just right now, they're on the right track right now as far as learning and then adapting to college football.
Seems like Terrell Timmons is a guy who's flashed a little bit in camp. What have you seen from him? What's maybe allowed him to kind of stand out early in fall camp?
His availability. I mean, I think right now with Terrell is one of the things coming in here. He knew the room was going to be deep, so that we all did. But he understands his role, and he's embraced his role. And he's working hard, and he's a great addition to obviously Will and Travis on the outside. So we'll be rotating those guys quite a bit. But I'm impressed with his progression. You know, the way he's progressed over spring, the summer, and what he's doing so far in fall camp. But he's doing a great job.
Coach, what can you say about the leadership within this unit and how you are shaping these young men off the field?
Well, the leadership is, you know, obviously is in the room with the experience that we have. You know, and obviously Coach Prime has always, you know, dictated to us as coaches, have a relationship with these guys. So we do a lot of things off the field. We have conversations in our meeting room about life situations because all this stuff is parallel. Football and life, they all go together, right? So, you know, if they understand that and get out of get out their own way, so to speak, and just come to work every day with a work ethic and a commitment and a dedication, you know, things have been going great in that regard. The leadership helped. I would say LeJontay is doing a great job from that standpoint. Obviously, you know, we got some guys in there that just lead by example, and Travis being one of them.
What do you think the benefits are of practicing down in Denver on Friday night underneath lights in front of a crowd?
I'm used to a crowd. I mean, I love the heat. I mean, I love what the expectations. I love the lights, and these guys, they all came here with that expectation and expecting that, and so we're hopeful that doesn't affect these guys. I don't think it will. But, you know, Friday night under the lights, what weather? There's no better place you'd rather be. That's why we've all played college sports. That's why as coaches, you know, all of us have our backgrounds coming from high college levels, NFLs. And so we want these guys to experience that. Why not right here in Boulder? Why not?
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Appreciate it.